Welcome to this edition of Cooking in Mr. Durazi's Kitchen. Buffalo chicken, whether being enjoyed in this case in a salad, or possibly in a sandwich, or maybe even the original buffalo wing. One thing for sure, they're delicious. But where do they come from? Buffalo don't have wings, and these, as we know, are chicken. So here is the Anchor Bar in Buffalo, New York, which is said to be the home of the original. Now, like anything that's an amazing thing, how it came about, not 100% sure. Some say it was getting a misorder. Not really sure of how it started, but we do know that when you make buffalo wings, the end result usually ends something like this. Today, we're gonna take you and show you how to make a really good, crispy, baked buffalo chicken. Enjoy. Let's take a look at the ingredients that we'll be using in today's recipe. So first we have our chicken wings themselves, which we're using about 4 pounds. And we have them split into drumettes and wingets, as you can see here, as they're already separated. From there, we have baking powder, not baking soda, brown sugar, Frank's Red Hot, I'm using Frank's Red Hot wing sauce, some butter, and celery sticks and carrots to serve alongside. To prepare the wings for baking, you can dry them with a paper towel and then add them to a bowl. Once in the bowl, we're going to go ahead and add our baking powder, which is going to further help to dry them out, help get that really nice crispy skin. So sprinkle the baking powder over the top. Go ahead and add your salt. And then at this point, you can go ahead and mix them all together, really trying to make sure that they're really well coated and that you have the baking powder is evenly distributed throughout the chicken wings. Again, the purpose of the baking powder is that it will help to create a crispier skin, as it's going to help to draw the moisture out of the skin. All right, so once you go ahead and get those completely tossed and coated, at that point, we'll be ready to go ahead and lay them out onto a pan. So here I have a sheet pan that I've lined with foil, and you're going to want to do that because it's going to make for a much easier cleanup when all is said and done. And then we have a baking rack that we're going to put them on. This way they're elevated, and that rack is sprayed with cooking spray so that the wings don't stick. All right, and the reason for the rack, it elevates off the pan. It's going to allow for the fat to drip off, and that the wings won't be sitting in the fat. If they're sitting in the fat, they won't get crispy. So one thing here when I'm putting them out on the rack is I'm putting the wingettes on one sheet pan and I'm putting the drumettes on another. And that's just to make sure that they cook evenly and cook at the same rate. You want to have larger pieces with smaller pieces. You want to make sure that the pieces are all fairly similar in size. All right, so you go ahead and put all of those out onto your rack. And you want to make sure that the real meaty side of the wing is face up. Okay, that's an important piece here. The bottom side, there's a little bit of fat that you want to make sure start them down, face down. That's going to help for the fat to really kind of drip off as it starts to melt away. All right, so now they're ready to go. We have both of our pans ready, and we're going to go ahead and put them into the oven. Now, when they go into the oven, we're actually baking these twice. So you're going to start the chicken on the bottom rack of a 250-degree oven and cook them for about 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, we're going to turn the heat up to 425 degrees and bake for another 40 to 50 minutes. While the chicken is in the oven, we can go ahead and start preparing our vegetables. So let's review bâtonnet. So first for our carrot, we're going to peel the carrot completely. Make sure to get all of the peel off of the carrot. You'll notice I'm wearing gloves because this is a ready-to-eat food. All right, so go ahead now, we take our chef knife and we're just going to quickly remove both the back and front end of the carrot, just a little bit, don't take too much, and then you can keep those scraps, put those on the side, as we can use those for stock. All right, so now again, it's bâtonnet, so it's 2 inches long. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to trim the carrot into 2-inch segments. Now take a small piece off the bottom to stabilize so it doesn't roll around on the board, right? Always want to do that with round vegetables. And now from here we can go ahead and slice into 1/4-inch sections. All right, again, bâtonnet is 2 inches by 1/4 of an inch by 1/4 of an inch. So once we have those 1/4-inch sections, we can now go ahead and come back and then cut into our 1/4 of an inch sticks. So another 1/4 of an inch cut. And you'll do this for all of the pieces. You can stack them and do them that way if you're comfortable. Just be careful, sometimes they slide around a little bit. All right, but there is your bâtonnet. So we can go ahead and put those into a bowl like that and have that ready to go on the side. Now we'll go into our celery. So the same thing with the celery. This has already been trimmed a little bit, right? We're going to go ahead and take about a 2-inch piece, right? So cut these into 2-inch segments. Again, if it doesn't work out completely, that's fine. You can always take a little bit and throw it into stock. You can also make them just a little bit longer. You don't want to waste. Now use the natural shape of the celery and go ahead and cut it into your 1/4-inch cuts. And there we have our matchsticks. Right, so there's our bâtonnet. Go ahead, throw those into a bowl as well. And now once the chicken is ready, we'll go ahead and we'll serve that alongside the chicken. So while the chicken is in the oven, we're going to prepare the sauce. So I've melted my butter in a small pot. I'm going to whisk in my brown sugar, which is just going to help to kind of tame the heat a little bit, add another element of flavor. Once the sugar is dissolved, we'll go ahead and add in our hot sauce. Right, I'm using a buffalo sauce here. And we're going to go ahead and whisk that until it's really, really well incorporated. And then we'll go ahead and set that on the side until the chicken is ready to go. And we'll marry the two together then. So here, the chicken is cooked for the first 30 minutes. The fat has started to melt off. And now we've turned the oven up to 425 degrees. And we're going to move the chicken from the bottom rack up to the top rack. If you're doing multiple pans, as I am, switch them throughout. Halfway through the cooking, you're gonna go ahead and rotate and then cook for another 20 to 25 minutes. You can see here, them getting really nice color. And here, the wings are out. They're nice and crispy. They've got really good golden brown color, which is a great sign. You can see the fat on the bottom. If you look at the pan, you can see the fat that's there as well. Now we're ready to sauce. Once the chicken is fully baked, we're now ready to go ahead and sauce. So we're gonna move it to a bowl, as we have here. And I'll show you why we use that foil. So remove the rack, foil comes right off, and you can see all the grease that's baked onto that foil. So that pulls right off. And what you're left with is a practically clean sheet pan. Still have to clean the sheet pan though, okay? It still needs to be cleaned. Even though it looks clean, still go ahead and make sure that it's completely clean. Now, we're gonna take our sauce that we've pre-made, and we're just going to go ahead and pour that right over our baked chicken wings. One last little stir, make sure it's all well incorporated. Just pour it right over the top. And then I like to just toss it right in the bowl, right? So you just can take the bowl, and just as we would like a saute pan, just gonna give it a little toss. You wanna make sure that all of the wings are really well coated. That's the important part here, right? Make sure they're all well coated, that each bite has a nice amount of sauce on it as well. Once you're done saucing, you can see there's our chicken wing. From there, you can go ahead and plate however it is you're going to. So here I have it served with our celery and our carrots and some ranch dressing. I'm not a blue cheese fan, so no blue cheese for me. But that's it. There's your wings. Hope you enjoy.